Hi all, I'm Cullen Haynes and welcome to Live with Cullen Haynes, episode 41. And my next guest, I'm sure needs no introduction. The star of Lux Listings, founder of Cohen Handler back in 2009, Costi Cohen, Cohen Farquharson, and many, many more, and has settled well over $10 billion worth of property in his time. And he's joining us to share some of his nuggets over the next 30 minutes talking about mastering Sydney's luxury property market. So without further ado, could you please make very welcome the one, the only, the incomparable Mr. Simon Cohen, founder of Cohen Handler. Welcome, Simon. It's great to have you finally on the show, my friend.
Thank you very much for having me. It's good to be here.
Mate, what's it like being famous on the Lux Listing Show? Do you get people asking you for autographs all the time? What's the story?
I don't know because I wouldn't say I'm famous, but it's nice to be recognized occasionally.
Very good. Very good. Well, please tell us, mate. The floor is yours. What's happening in your world right?
You froze. I think Cullen might have froze, so we just wait till he comes back.
Simon, apologies. It just glitched out. I'm back now. All good.
Excellent. Well, it's good to have you back.
Very good. But before I was so rudely interrupted, you probably already said what's going on in your circle of influence right now. But what are you seeing in the market with all these first home buyer changes happening, my friend?
Look, I think there's a strong appetite in the market. People realize it's a great place to park their money, and the governments are making it easier as cost of living has made it harder. And so we are certainly seeing a steer away from a trend of rent vesting that we've been seeing for many years, and a lot more people owner occupying, or looking to grow their property portfolio. So there is a very large and healthy appetite for property around Australia.
Absolutely. I know there's the secrets that you'll be sharing. Is there anywhere that you're finding that you're buying in for your clients at the moment that is quite hot right now?
Look, Cohen Handler Secure, which buys sort of investment properties to people between sort of $300,000 and $700,000, are buying in really exciting areas around the country. But if I was just an everyday Australian, kind of, my advice is always buy in an area that it has a village lifestyle, that has a hub, that has a reason why people are always going to live there. So they're either going to want to buy there or rent there. And so you're always going to have an appetite for resale or rental income. It's always going to offer a lifestyle. And I think since COVID, the world has moved way more to lifestyle than, public transport, for example.
No, I see. And in terms of your long and storied history, you've been doing this since 2009, probably even earlier when you started Cohen Handler. What sparked your interest in property? What is it? Because you got an impressive portfolio yourself. What was it about property and then becoming a buyer's agent? Because you started before it became mainstream. Now, with all these courses that are out there as well. So I'd love to get your thoughts on, where the journey started for a young Mr. Simon Cohen.
I mean, property's always been in my blood since I was little. What I would do on the weekends was make my parents drive me around the eastern suburbs looking at houses. I mean, for me, that was an exciting thing to do. I obviously wasn't from the eastern suburbs, and I always wondered what was behind the gates or over the walls. And, real estate was always an incredible passion of mine and something I was always going to get into, right? I think it was just the path that was set for me. I became a real estate agent for 5 years, which I loved, but really struggled with the fact that buyers weren't represented. Everything was skewed towards sellers, 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 but no one ever took buyers seriously. And I just couldn't comprehend that without a buyer, there was no transaction. And I really wanted to empower buyers and give them the opportunity to see everything that existed in the marketplace, understand what something's worth and why, and ultimately have someone on their side to get them the best possible outcome and the lowest price. And so that's why and how Cohen Handler, I guess, was born in 2009, and I guess why we and I guess the service has scaled so much in the years since.
Amazing. And for the uninitiated, because I know there's a lot out there that don't actually understand the value of a great buyer's agent like yourself. You probably get it all the time. In a nutshell, what is it that a buyer's agent does? Is it just getting you a lower price, or is it much, much more than that?
No, I guess they're the opposite of a real estate agent. Our job is to find you everything that exists in the marketplace. 79% of what our firm buys is unadvertised stock. It's called all for pre-market stock. So it's getting you access to everything. It's then ciphering through all of those properties and putting forward the right properties. It's then doing all the due diligence on those properties. So coming up with what something's worth and why it's worth that, what it'll rent for and why it'll rent for that, what the capital growth is going to look for. Is it a good street? Is it a good building? All of the things you need to know and understand. And then the third part's the part I love the most.
Okay,
and
tell
that
me.
is putting that strategy in place to get it for the lowest price possible.
I love that, because you're a master at these auctions that we see on Lux Listings. It's actually incredible to watch, and you see when you come out of nowhere that other agents and other buyers kind of get, it's kind of like not a groan, but it's like, oh no, Simon's bidding, because they know you're probably going to go in hard as an advocate, which is what you are for your clients.
I mean, I don't know if going in hard is the right way. I have a strategy of getting it at the best price.
Yes.
And sometimes my strategy can be aggressive. Sometimes it can be doing nothing. It just depends. But I hope they're scared, because they should be.
Oh, very good. Very good, my friend. And look, you've grown Cohen Handler into the largest residential buyers agency. Now you're into commercial space. Now you're doing all these other things. What would you say were the biggest challenges along the way? Because, we all want our heroes ready-made, right? Everyone in the AFR that writes up about you sees the success, but I'm sure there's things that happen behind the scenes that were really tough and hard. If you'd be open to sharing with everyone.
Make those things happen each and every day. I think you speak to any business owner, they're going to tell you the hardest thing about being a business owner is running a business, right? I've had a plethora of speed humps along the way, but I'd say those speed humps have only made me stronger and gotten me to where I am today. And so it certainly hasn't been a speedy path to success, or one that happened overnight. It's something that happened with absolute grit and determination, and ultimately a fierce goal in sight. And it's that goal that I chase every day that I guess keeps me going.
I love that. You're not immune to those things, but it's how you react to what's coming.
I mean, I've become Teflon now, but yes, it was hard for a while.
No, I love that. And in terms of any questions that anyone has, we are live. This is going LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, X, and of course our friends at LinkedIn. Please put your cheeky questions in the chat box. We'll endeavor to get to this behemoth. We've only got 20 minutes to go. And please, if you'd like to book in a call with Simon and his esteemed colleague, Daniel Bunjor, who put this wonderful, wonderful talk together today, please do. We'd welcome that as well. So I'll put that throughout the show. Look, you've assisted many clients, over 10 billion in property. What's the most memorable deal? And we see a couple on the show, but what's the most memorable deal or property that you've ever worked on in your long and storied career?
It changes all the time. For me, it's not necessarily the price of a property, but it's how hard the challenge was to get it done.
Yeah.
I recently did a deal last week for in the early 80 millions, and it was one of the most difficult deals I've ever done. And for me, it wasn't about the price, but it was about that I was able to get it across the line. And so we could probably sit here for hours talking about wild and wacky deals, but the hardest ones are my favorite.
You like the challenge, right?
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Because you feel like you're adding more value and, it makes life more exciting.
No, I'm endeared by what you're saying. Love the challenge. It's nothing great was done easy, I would say. Same with myself. I do actually love the hard clients. We deal with high pressure transactions for lawyers and barristers and whatnot, and accountants.
It keeps you on your feet.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Like everyone loves the layup deal, but it's the deal
it keeps the mind active, which is what you want.
It's like 3 people have looked at this, no one else can do it, and then it's like, well, they haven't dealt with you. So there you go. There you go. Now, I'd love to switch gears a little bit. What's a surprising skill that has helped Simon Cohen in his property buying and negotiation journey?
Reading people.
Okay.
The art of reading people, I think, is incredibly important. If you can read an owner or an agent's body language, if you can read other buyers' body language in an auction, that's power.
Yeah. Are you a poker player? Did you get that from an early age? Where did you get this?
I'm a poker player in life, but not in the actual game.
Oh, good. Yeah, absolutely. The odds are far better in the property world that you're dealing with.
Probably. I wouldn't say, I don't have time to really play a lot of games. So,
no, I love that. And in terms of the way you unwind, because you are dealing with high pressure situations, people aren't buying a chocolate bar. $80 million properties aren't small potatoes. So how does Mr. Simon Cohen relax after the end of a tough deal or negotiation?
I move on to the next. I mean, how I relax in life is travel. For me, travel is a non-negotiable.
Yes.
It's what I work for. I think you've got to see the world and enjoy life. But when I'm home, it's just friends, family, very simple, normal, boring, relaxing stuff.
No, that's at the end of the day, it's fantastic. What's your favorite place to go to in Australia or the world where if you could go there every day, you'd be happy?
The south of France.
Beautiful. Get that the French flavors, the French food, the beautiful landscape, gorgeous.
A great tan. It's really,
absolutely
good. Yeah.
You're very lucky. You got the skin tone that you can tan. I got that English skin, so I just burn, my man.
You should probably wear a hat.
I know, and I don't have much hair either. I kind of look like Chuck Liddell. It's not good.
It's not too bad.
But nonetheless, we talked about it in the intro. You've got multiple different companies that you're now overseeing. You've got Cohen Handler, Costi Cohen, CH Secure, Cohen Farquharson. Is there any of those you'd like to talk about, or any expansions that you're working on, or anything new in the pipeline that might be?
No, I mean, everyone kind of knows Cohen Handler. It's the brand I'm most proud of because it's the OG.
Yes.
Cohen Handler Secure, I think, is just a great business because it really empowers everyday Australians to find opportunities and grow their property portfolios. And ultimately, property is the best way to grow wealth. And so I think that's an incredible business. We've started a new business called Renter, which gives people who are looking to rent properties, the opportunity to find and access and secure rentals without standing in those 4-hour lines that we see on the weekends. I guess we're just a property business that, looks out for everyone. And that's something we're very proud of. It's not just for the wealthy or the niche. It's for everyone.
You're a man of the people. You're trying to give access to everyone.
Running for mayor, buddy. Running for mayor.
I love that. And, you've probably been asking this question umpteen times, but, the luxury property market in Sydney especially has exploded. But where do you see it going in the next 10 years?
it will continue to grow. The
Yeah.
thing about the luxury market is it's about supply and demand.
Yeah.
Now, there's no more supply coming because you're going to get no more waterfronts or no more estates.
That's
But
right.
the demand is growing because a lot more people are making a lot more money and a lot
Yes.
more wealthy people are moving to Australia. And so you look at supply and demand, you don't have to be a genius. I think we're going to continue to see what we've been seeing.
No, very well. It's just continue as it always has. As it always
Yeah,
has.
I mean, no one's ever said to me that they're happy they waited to get into the market. So I guess there's no time like the present.
Look, what do they say? The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best
Yeah,
time now.
is now. Yeah.
Is now. We're halfway through the stream. Thank you, everyone, for watching, listening, and subscribe to the podcast. But please book in a call with Daniel, Simon, and the team. If you are starting your journey, if you are getting into the market, if you're looking at options, please do. Whenever I do a pre-approve for one of my leading lawyers and accountants, I say you're more than welcome to try this yourself, but definitely after 3 to 6 months rolling your pre-approval, you definitely need to speak to an expert. When do you recommend people to reach out? A little bonus question there, Simon, because everyone always says they want to do it themselves, right? But you got to translate this into time. It takes 31 hours to do a application if you do it yourself, if you don't get a broker. You're probably spending, I don't know, 12 weekends looking at places on your own if you do it yourself. Like, it's a lot of investment and time. So when do people reach out to professionals like yourself?
It depends. A lot of people are referred by their friends, so they reach out at the beginning. The people who've been doing it on their own, it's not only the 12 weekends, that you suggest. It's the 4 missed auctions. It's the 4 times they've spent money on lawyers and pest and building inspections and strata reports. It's the 4 times they've got emotional and thought they were about to buy a house for 1.2 million, but it sold for 1.8 million. So it's a plethora of things that lead them to realize buying property is hard. And unless you have a competitive advantage and someone on your side who understands the intricacies of how to navigate the market, find the opportunities, deal with the agents, and ultimately get you the best outcome, you are going to struggle. Because if you do it on your own, the only way to win is by paying more than anyone else at an auction.
Good point. Would you rather not go to auction and try and get it before? Or is it very rare in the luxury market that it doesn't
Only
go to auction?
6% of what I buy is at auction. But I
Okay.
would say that, that comes down to strategy. If the
Yes.
price is right before auction, you buy it before auction. If the owners are overpriced and need it not to sell at auction, you let it run to sell at auction and strike after. That's where understanding the best strategy comes in.
No, very well said. Very well said. Now, in terms of like mentors, because we stand on the shoulders of giants, right? You've obviously got good friends like Mr. TRG, Gavin Rubenstein, and whatnot, and you got your friend Monica too on the show. But is there any other mentors that have been really influential in your life that have helped you get to where you are right now, Simon?
I'm incredibly fortunate that I've represented some of the most successful and influential people in Australia and around the world and become friends with a lot of them. And a lot of them have mentored me and given me advice. And it's that advice that has helped me a lot along the way, and that advice that I respect and value really greatly.
Amazing. Any notable anecdotes or the best piece of advice you've ever been given about business or life? Nice little nugget that people can walk away with.
Honestly, I think, you've got to keep looking forwards and never keep looking back. And everyone who's ever achieved it has achieved it through a fierce dedication and determination. And it ain't easy. If you think it's easy, then you'll fail. If you realize it's hard and you're up for the challenge, you'll succeed.
It seems like you're that go-getter person, like you said before. Like, you don't just rest on your laurels. When that big deal settles, you're just on to the next one. You're always looking. It's kind of like that striving
Yeah. I
mentality.
don't hop on yesterday's news. I look at what's happening today and tomorrow.
Very well said. Very well said. Look, we're almost getting towards the end, the last 10 minutes, guys. So again, if you've got any burning questions, put them in the show notes or book in a cheeky call with Daniel, Simon, and the team. What would you like to see change in the luxury property market and for Australians buying property today, Simon?
What would I like to see change? I wish there was more stock on the market.
Wouldn't we all? My
That would
goodness.
be great. Um, yeah, I don't know if there's much. I mean, I love my market and I love what I do. So besides prices dropping for my clients, which I'd love, um, I'm not sure much else.
No, well said. What do you think of the first home buyers scheme? Because obviously, I saw an article the other day that now 1 in 10 properties that have been bought in Australia have been done through this scheme. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Like, because there's no more stock, right? But there's more people that can now get access to credit. What are your
I
thoughts?
think I think if the statistics are 1 in 10 people, that has to be a good thing because it's giving more people the opportunity to get into the market. It's helping with the hardest part, which is getting that deposit. And
Yes.
so I think it can only be a plus.
I agree because it does. Like we deal with, 90% and 95%, but 90% for lawyers and accountants. And the statistics show if you live in Sydney, Melbourne, or otherwise, and it takes you 12 years to save a 20% deposit while renting. And I'm
That
from
is
Albury Wodonga, so
wild.
it's a long time to do that. So again, if you can cut that in half or three quarters or what have you, that it, most people can afford a mortgage. They just can't get that deposit. So yeah, very well said on your part. A lot of young professionals watching. We obviously got the seasoned watching and listening, but young professionals tuning in, starting their career in property or real estate. What would you say to them? What would you say to help them on their journey?
Property is all about making money. That's the beautiful thing about property. You can really make money. The best advice I can give you is the first property is what's going to set you on your journey to either succeed or fail. So make
Yes.
sure that first property is the right property because if you do it right from that first property, before you know it, you can own 10 properties. But if you do it wrong, you'll set yourself back many, many years.
Well said. Well said. And obviously, it's good to having the great credit partner. This is kind of like a segue. We had news recently that Macquarie had stopped their trust product. They stopped lending to trust. And I know that's a big thing for, the property savants out there is having that ability to lend in trust, not lending advice, not accounting advice. Like, what are your views on banks deciding to close up shop on certain types of products in the market?
My view is there's a plethora of opportunity out there, hence exactly what you do. And if some people want to stop, the public has the option and opportunity to go elsewhere. I don't think it's neither here nor there, to be honest.
No, well said. Well said. And, when all is said and done, how would you one day like to be remembered, Simon?
I think for my legacy is playing a part in the Australian property market and for really introducing buyers agents to becoming part of the process for everyday buyers looking to buy.
And you're already doing that in spades. So amazing. Where can people find you? Where are you hanging out the most? If, one of my high net worth clients or the network watching wants to get in touch, is it through here? Is it through Daniel, or where are you hanging out the most, would you say,
Yeah,
online?
email Daniel, email me, call my office. We're easy to find.
There you go. You can't miss you. You can't miss you. Fantastic. So definitely booking a call with Daniel and the team, Simon at Cohen Handler. You will walk away illumined. And again, cut out the time, cut out the BS in the market, and hopefully spend less than you would have doing it yourself. So really appreciate the opportunity to chat to you, Simon. I know you're a busy man, mate. So we've got a couple of bonus questions before you go. How would your team or your clients describe you, sir?
As energetic and hardworking.
I like it. Do you have any pets?
No, my
I was going to
parents
say, how
do.
would your pet describe you as well?
As obsessed and loving.
Oh, I love that. Very good. And here's some advice that everyone can garner from you. If you could go back in time, get in your DeLorean, gutted to 88, let's go back to a certain period of your life. When would you go back and visit the young Simon Cohen? What year? How old would you be? And what would the advice you'd give yourself? Because I'm sure they'd be like, oh my God, he's killing it. That's awesome.
I'm the happiest now, so I
Okay.
don't know if I would go back in time. But if I did go back in time, it would be to probably an age where I had no responsibilities, because that's always a nice age. So maybe like 18 to 21. And what advice would I give myself? That anything's possible. And if you don't try, you'll never succeed.
Well said. A nice end to the stream there, Simon. Really appreciate you coming on, my friend. I know you got more deals to get onto today. You enjoy the day, and thanks for coming on, my friend. Thanks to Daniel Bonjour for setting this up from Cohen Handler as well.
It's our pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Simon. And if you're a legend in the space and you want to be on the Live with Cullen Haynes show, we come out every Wednesday, the Law Live show for lawyers, Ledger Legends for accountants, and Live with Cullen Haynes, where we talk to absolute behemoths like Simon in the property market, accounting, finance, or otherwise. So please get in contact. Have a wonderful Wednesday, everyone. Make it count and take care. Hey there, Cullen Haynes here, Australia's leading broker for lawyers on LinkedIn, and here's why I want to talk to you today about my book, my new book, The Laws of LinkedIn, 23 ways to find your tribe, build your following, and make 7 figures on LinkedIn. When I started this journey 7 years ago, when we built, myself and Andrew, my business partner, we built legal home loans from the ground up, the pain point for us was we were at a standing start. No one knew who we were. We had no money, we had no contacts, and basically we had to find a way to make our voice heard, talk to our tribe, the legal community, and build trust. And the only thing we had at our disposal was LinkedIn, which was and still is free. There's over 1 billion people on LinkedIn, and I wish when I started I had this book with me to guide me, because I basically distilled my 23 top leading hacks that we use to build our business to a 7+ figure, and I really want to get it out there and share it with you. So if you're back